You'll need this to begin. I use every item here, but you don't have to. I'll divide everything, so it's simple. 5 brushes is all you need. Let me explain. First one round liner. Second one liner. 3 round. 4 chisel. 5 flat tip. Now for the paints. Fluorescent green, fluorescent blue, fluorescent pink, fluorescent red, fluorescent yellow, titanium white, dioxide purple, white for highlights, purple for darkening. Line work is easy. You'll need fluid acrylic. To do good lines, smooth lines, it depends on your paint. And the best method are these right here. I like to use purple to bring out the colors as I do line work. White to emphasize highlights, make it easier to do line work. But my favorite is magenta for shadowing and effects that everyone ignores. Now, time for the main course. I will show you something easy. Let me start by bringing this and activating it. Step 1, a layer of white with a damp brush. You'll be able to tell how wet it is by touching it. You don't want it soaked, you want it damp. Do a layer of white, lightly brush over it. It's okay to smudge it. What we want is a light coat over the whole sketch, over the whole canvas. You want to be able to see a little bit of it. Dry it off however you want. This is my method. You can still see the sketch as it dries. That's what you're going for. Now let me show you an uncut version of how I mix. I start by pouring colors. I don't care what color it is. I'm just going for the theme right now, which is blue. As you watch this, I need you to ask yourself some questions. Because if you do not understand what you're looking at, you will not be able to do this. You need to ask yourself, are you able to be patient? Are you able to improve? And are you able to judge yourself? Because if you can judge yourself harshly, then who cares what anyone else says? Because the whole point of painting is being patient with yourself. I don't paint for the satisfaction of the final result. I paint so I can reflect and see, study who I am. First step, we're going to paint blue all over the canvas. We're going to do this until we see a perfect rim of blue around. Now, I like to call this technique hypersonic because you'll be able to blend things that looks like aura, and I like the word hypersonic. Look at my hand, back and forth motion, blending it all together. You'll get used to how the paint works because you need to understand what you're doing. The most important thing is to study the brush, study the movement. Look how it blends together as you go back and forth. You can't get lost in trying to make everything perfect right away. It's a foundation for your building. So be careful with your foundation. Take it slow. You don't need to rule the world. You just need to master your skills. It's a fool's idea to want to be perfect. It's a fool's idea to want to know everything. You shouldn't. The only thing you should seek is who you are. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? The purpose you give yourself will define you for the rest of your life. So take your time. Study who you are as you paint. And if you have things that you hate about yourself, it's okay to cut them down. I've planted seeds in myself that I hate. But every day I reflect and I cut down what I don't need. So do the same as you paint. That's why I love painting. Because you have so much time to yourself to study. You need to study who you are. And the only way to do that is by sitting down and reflecting on your decisions, on your mistakes, because you're going to make a lot. But as long as you reflect, you can create a masterpiece. The movement I'm showing is back and forth. It's simple. You can do it with a big brush or a small brush like this. What you're looking for is a blend. Best way to do that is with the wet brush going back and forth over it. You don't need any paint on it. You just need to blend colors together as they are still wet. Tell me, why do you want to paint? What is it that drives you to keep watching? Are you inspired? Do you feel something burning inside? Because if you do, then you have what it takes to make it. All it takes is a burning passion on whatever you want to do to complete your goals. Now let me show you some cheat codes to painting. To see the sketch better, put a light behind it. That's the best way to keep track on what you're doing. I really don't care about all these traditional people saying don't do this, don't do that. I only listen to myself. I never went to school for art. I never wanted any teachers around me. I always hated the words they said. I always hated the way they thought. Because I always wanted to be taught by someone greater than me. Someone who actually understands what it means to do it on your own. And I haven't found anyone alive that can teach me. So I'll teach you what I know. Technique superium. Use your pinky as a tripod. You need balance in order to get everything right. Take it slow with your brush. You see everything? You see where everything is. It's common sense. Move your brush where you want to put your paint. That's all you really need to know when you're making anything. Most people want to know every little detail on how to do it. But honestly, it's just brick by brick. Layer by layer. That's the only way to make anything. Slow and steady, it's okay. Master how to balance your brush. Master how to balance your air. Because the way you breathe shakes your hand. If you have trouble steadying your hand, hold your breath when you want to get a steady line. Practice that and you'll be able to do steady lines all the time. If you truly want to learn, you have to pay attention to your breathing, to how your hand works. Everyone's hand is different. You might balance it another way, but the way I balance it is by using my whole hand. I use my pinky, I use my index finger, I use the weight. I have studied myself to the point where I understand how to get accurate paint on the canvas every time. That's what you have to do. Now watch and see how I create something out of thin air. Listen to me, my student. If you want to be me, you need to look in the mirror and break your reality. Until you understand what that means, you'll never be able to do this, and you'll never be able to feel true freedom. So I hope I've taught you something. I hope I taught you how to look for yourself. Enjoy and create.